It was that silent night when the stars turned their gaze to marvel at the earth, when the heavens gathered breathless round a lowly stable, when a young mother wept tears of worship, falling on the baby in her arms, and the song of the earth arose in Bethlehem, soft as the tender beating of his heart. And all was calm, all was bright. Yet could this be the same God of Abraham, the conqueror of Israel? This baby, this fragile life? Is this child the one who burned his name in rapture across the gasping skies? Whose voice spoke the oceans into crashing rhythms? Who crafted the mountains into guardians of the firmament? Whose hand ignited the thirst of the deserts and the warring surge of the elemental hosts? Who breathed life from dust, broke the oppressor's rule, scattered the chains of his people like sand, and led them through the wilderness with a pillar of flame? Is this child the one whose presence billowed thunderous on Sinai's peak? Who surrounded Job with the roaring wind, stood defiant in the raging furnace, wrote judgment against tyrants, and blazed on the lips of the prophets, scorching history's pages with the fury of his might? Could this be the same God who chose to come as the vulnerable king, setting his throne on straw and manger, drawing forth the tears of shepherds, receiving the gifts of wandering travelers, his fame unknown in this world? He is Jesus, the one who thunders through the heavens, yet whispers to our hearts, who reigns victorious, yet bows to serve the broken. He is God in the fury, God in the silence. He holds this mystery balanced in his hands, holds our questions till they lose their need, until all we see is him.
Sing joy to the world.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, all of heaven and all creation sing, the wonders of his love. All of heaven and all creation sing, the wonders of his love. Joy to the earth, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. Sing the wonders of his love. All of heaven and all creation sing the wonders of his love. curse is found, far as the curse is found, far as the curse is found. All of heaven and all creation sing the wonders of his love. All of heaven and all creation sing the wonders of his love. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. All of heaven and all creation sing the wonders of his love. All of heaven and all creation sing the wonders of his love. All of heaven and all creation sing the wonders of his love. All of heaven and all creation sing the wonders of his love. The wonders of his love. The wonders of his love.
Good evening, everybody. It is so nice to see that all of you guys could join us tonight. My name is Jessica.
And my name is Madison, and we are your MCs for tonight's program. We are so excited you are here tonight to join us, and a special welcome to all of those watching us online and local cable television.
We have so much more in store for you guys, including our house band, some solos, some duets, and of course the drama production that we are so excited to get to. So whether you are in-house with us tonight or watching online, we invite you to sit back,
Relax.
and enjoy tonight's festivities.
why your joyous strains prolong. What the gladsome tidings be, which inspire your heavenly song. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Come to Bethlehem and see Christ whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee Christ the Lord, the newborn King.
Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. See him in a manger laid, whom the choirs of angels praise. Mary, Joseph, lend your aid, while our hearts in love we raise. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error, pining to hear appeared, and the soul felt His worth. A thrill of hope, the wearied world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angels' voices. Oh, by his cradle we stand. So led by a light of a star so sweetly beaming, here come the wise men from the Orient land. The King of Kings, Lord Dost and lowly manger, and all our trials, but to be a friend. He knows your needs, your weakness is no stranger, and behold your King before him, lowly bend. Behold your King before him, lowly bend. Truly he taught us to love one another. His love is love, and his gospel is peace. Chain shall he break, for the slave is a brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all within us praise his holy name. Christ is Lord. Oh, praise his name forever, and his power and glory evermore proclaim. His power and glory evermore proclaim.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. He's singing a song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. But you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman. We'll pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. But you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland.
And he will put the sheep on his right and the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you are blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." Then the righteous will answer him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? And when did we see you sick or in prison and come to you?" And the king will answer and say to them, "Truly I say to you, to the extent that you did it to one of these brothers of mine, even the least of them, you did it to me. People are not a bother to me, but need me. I am the bread of life, the light of the world, the way, the truth, and the life. And I say to you, you are the light of the world. Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. And however you want people to treat you, so treat them. Love your neighbor as yourself. As you remember me, the hope that was born, remember my words. My sheep hear my voice. Come follow me."
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Christ by highest heaven adored, Christ the everlasting Lord. Late in time behold him come, offspring of a virgin's womb. Veiled in flesh the Godhead see, hail the incarnate deity. Pleased is man with man to dwell, Jesus our Emmanuel. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. The heaven-born Prince of Peace, hail the Son of Righteousness. Light and life to all he brings, risen with healing in his wings. Mild he lays his glory by, born that man no more may die. Born to raise the sons of earth, born to give them second birth. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. This next song is a fun one, so feel free to sing along. long time ago in Bethlehem. So the Holy Bible says, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a king was born today, and men will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. While shepherds watched their flock by night, they saw a bright new shining star. They heard a choir of angels sing, and music seemed to come from afar. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a king was born today, and men will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Joseph and his wife Mary came to Bethlehem that night. They found no place to bed her child, not a single room was inside. And by they find a little in a stable all forlorn, and in the manger cold and dark, Mary's little boy was born. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a king was born today, and men will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Trumpets sound and angels sing, listen to what they say, that men will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. That men will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. This next song is called Hope is Born. Every year I like to write a song for this Christmas concert, and I wrote it with my wife Debbie, and hope you enjoy it. It was a moment in time, a promise come true, a miracle from above. The sky broke through, the glory of heaven, God's perfect plan. A child born to this world, a gift to all men. Hope is born, hope is born, the light in the darkness to show us the way. Hope is born, hope is born, Jesus is alive today. He came as a child, birthed from a womb, heaven's perfect gift, born for all mankind. God's only Son would carry our wounds. He became a sacrifice, the greatest love of all. Hope is born, hope is born, the light in the darkness to show us the way. Hope is born, hope is born, Jesus is alive today.
A moment in history, a woman named Mary came into agreement and chose to carry. She found great favor and believed it to be true. Every word spoken she held on to as true. A miracle from heaven, wrapped up in a seed, planted deep in her womb, Mary would conceive. With heaven's assistance and faith in the One, Mary gave birth to the firstborn Son. He came as a child, birthed from a womb. God's very own Son would carry our wounds. His victory won, overcoming the tomb. He called us his, the bride and the groom. He became the way, the path for us to enter. He paved the way and introduced to us the Father. Through the spoken word and his written letter, the author is waiting to give us an encounter. The greatest love of all sacrificed his life for all, came to the world he created so we could see love demonstrated. His heart is for us, he patiently waits. He is one we can trust, it's never too late. The one who made us with his very own hands, created us from dust, formed us from the sand. His until the end, called us his own, grown into his friend, never leaving us alone. Invitation to relationship, time to invite him in, an eternal friendship between us and him. To this earth he came to reveal his name, submitted and committed his will, he made the earth stand still. He, the Word, gave us his word, the religious system overturned. Now he guides and directs the path of our feet, set free from our yoke of defeat, makes a way where there is no way, lights the way when all else fades, is the way when darkness prays. He is the strength of our knees, the shoes on our feet. He's our home to retreat, a sheltering tree, a firm place to stand, roots that are deep, our hope in his hands, our light and our peace. Hope is alive today. Please welcome his stay. Hope does not disappoint, but points to the one who gave us a choice and showed us a way. Hope has freed us. This hope I speak of has a name, and that name is Jesus.
Hope is born, hope is alive, showed us the way. Jesus is alive today. Hope is born. Hope is born. Jesus is alive today. Thank you. Good evening. The birth of Jesus has been written from every angle, and he's been glorified in every way. And so to try to write a new song is a challenge. But I just prayed tonight that these words would glorify the one who died for me and died for you, and just pray that his name would be glorified in this place tonight.
Well, I have the privilege and joy to introduce the theme hope a little more. And when I think about hope, and when you think about hope, hope keeps us going. Hope's the engine, the force that just keeps us going. There's a mother of a 16-year-old son calling his husband who's on a business trip out of town, and she's sobbing. And she says, "It's terrible. They confirmed it. Ethan has lymphoma cancer." After an emotional moment, she continues, "But there's hope. The doctor says there's an 80% chance that they'll beat it." Ethan and the family have hope for a future that's better than the present, and so they keep on going. We need hope for things in life that face us, difficulties, challenges, worries, adversary, when we realize the situation is not looking good, when the worst fears are confirmed. We need hope when we struggle in relationships, when we have health problems, financially we're barely managing, coping by. We need hope. We need hope for a future that's better than the present. We also need hope, and we do good things because of hope. We help somebody out because we hope that what we do to that person or those people will actually make their future better than the present for them. And so we keep on doing good. Hope is a big and really important theme in the Bible. It seems that a lot of it has to do with waiting, though. And we're not really good at that. There's a feeling of tension, expectation, while you wait for something, while you wait for something to change, for something to happen. And actually, one of the Hebrew words is based on a word that means cord, or rope, or string. And so you can think about somebody, go bungee jumping, and they're attached to this large cord. And then it stretches when the person jumps down. It stretches at the bottom, it keeps on stretching, keeps on stretching, keeps on stretching. There's tension. And it either breaks, or then it retracts and pulls the person back up. And hope has to do with that tension, in that anticipation, in that expectation. That's the space for hope in between. So, what gives us hope? What's the source for hope? What do people hope for in the Bible when we think about the Bible stories of hope? Psalm 130 says, "We wait eagerly for the Lord's help, and in his word we trust. I wait for the Lord more eagerly than sentries wait for the dawn. O Israel, O people, put your hope in the Lord. Wait and watch for God. With God's arrival comes love. With God's arrival comes generous redemption." No doubt about it. He'll redeem Israel, buy back Israel from captivity to sin. So in one word, people were hoping for God. Biblical hope is different from optimism. Optimism chooses to look at a situation and see how things and circumstances could maybe perhaps work for the best. But biblical hope starts with sometimes even realistically acknowledging and recognizing that there is no chance for things to turn around, yet choosing to hope. Why? Why choosing to hope? God's past faithfulness. We can hope because of God's proven track record. God had surprised the people of Israel with redemption back in the days of Moses and Exodus, after some 400 years of affliction and slavery in Egypt. And God could do it again, redeem them, bring them out, save them. I have seen people's lives being completely transformed, turned around, people's bodies being healed, minds being healed, relationships to their parents being restored against all odds. I've personally experienced. what God can do in somebody's life. And when I look back at all that I've witnessed, I can look into the future with hope. So we look forward by looking backward. Does that make sense? Trusting nothing other than God and his character. God is able to keep his promises. Abraham was 70 years old when him and Sarah got a promise of a child. And they had to wait for another 30 years till Isaac was born, living in hope. The place of tension while expecting, while anticipating, while waiting for that promise to be fulfilled. So hope is about a promise. Abraham was too old to have a child. Sarah was barren. But biblical hope is never based on what is possible with man. Biblical hope always looks away from man to the promises of God. And when it does, it becomes the full assurance of hope, the expectation of great things from God. So, hope is about a promise, and it is about a person as well. Vera might say, it's been a week or 2 weeks since my birthday. I was promised a gift. But I have full assurance of hope because Klaus promised. Psalm 39:7 says, "And now, O Lord, what do I wait for? My hope is in you." Where there is no substance for hope, when God enters the scene, hope arises. And now it's my privilege and honor and joy to introduce the one in whom we hope. I love this man, this promised one, for many reasons. He's incredibly kind. He's incredibly gentle yet strong. He's generous, he's loving, he's patient, he's wise, he knows stuff. He's the most joy-giving, most joy-loving person that I know. And when you're around him, you either get really unsettled, really uneasy, or then very peaceful, and you feel complete and whole. And then underlying everything else, there's this incredible humility. Considering that the man healed blind people all over the place. One guy's name was Bartimaeus. He once fed 5,000 people. He once walked on water. He predicted his own death. And then he rose from the dead on the third day. So when you think about this kind of a person, he ought to give you hope in any situation in life. He ought to be able to shed some sort of light no matter what you're going through. There is light at the end of the tunnel with him. This is Jesus from Nazareth, the promised one, the awaited Messiah, the Savior of the world, the one who forgives sin, the one who reconciles us with God, our Creator, the one who heals, the one who restores, the one who gives eternal life. This is the one in whom all the world, the whole universe, all humankind can place their hope in for eternity. He's hope born, hope awaited, hope fulfilled, hope made real. Hope that touches and changes us. Real hope. He's the person, Jesus. So God enters the scene when Jesus is sent from heaven as an act of love and act of hope. And that way the fulfillment in him, all the promises that God had made are fulfilled. He is the promise and he is the person of hope. Early church, the first followers of Jesus, they lived in real hope because they believed that Jesus' death and resurrection was God's surprising act of rescue to people afflicted and enslaved by evil, sin, and death. The empty tomb, Jesus raised from the dead, opened a new door of hope. A new era had been ushered in. we could become new as if born again. The hope of glory, because what had happened to Jesus would happen to the whole universe. And so we look forward with hope by looking back at God's past faithfulness. We have hope in the promise that creation will be liberated from slavery to corruption and destruction, liberated into full freedom. And that's why biblical hope is bold. It keeps us going from strength to strength. Biblical hope is not just a mere desire or wish for something good to happen. It's a confident expectation for something good in the future. Biblical hope has this certainty to it. When the Bible says hope in God, it does not mean cross your fingers. It means expect great things from God. It's not optimism. It's a choice to wait for God to bring about a future that is as surprising as someone rising from the dead. So Christian hope looks back to the risen Jesus in order to see forward. And so we wait, and so we keep going on as our hope rests assured in an anchor, Jesus Christ.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you deliver will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to the blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm the storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? And when you've kissed
Isn't that an awesome song? Just powerful words. It's one thing to remember that Jesus came, but also to know why he came. And so as we listen to that song, we can reflect on that. So I want to thank everyone again for being a part of this, all the singers, musicians, the production crew, the actors. It was really good. It's always a fun journey as, a night like tonight comes together. So we're going to sing one last song tonight. I know you've been sitting for a while, so if you feel to stand, you're invited to. This is one we do every year. It's a fun one. You can sing along.